All right, we are back, and now I'm going to get on my soapbox because there was quite a few things to talk about. So Raw, despite it being the draft, it actually went down in viewers. So it was a 1.778 million down from 1.815, and it was a 0.54 demo instead of a 0.56.
Now,
and it was number 5 with the top 20. There were playoffs.
There are playoffs going on. We're getting to the final rounds of those playoffs, so that's when shit really starts to pick up.
Well, not only NBA, but NHL. So both of their playoffs are happening literally right now.
And all wrestling, I think, was down this week.
Yes, for the most part, yes. So instead of going through segment by segment, I'm just going to point out a couple of things based on the show. So the draft ended. It was just as interesting. Some of the choices were a bit strange, but it's still going to be the Raw after Backlash. So literally tomorrow is where the new rosters are going to be implemented overall. Damage control winning was desperately needed, and it was so needed on that end. But the issue now is that they're going to Smackdown. Are they going to continue this momentum? What are they going to be doing with them overall?
Right.
Riddle, once again, having another goddamn match with at least Jimmy Uso now is now starting to get annoying. They have been having singles matches on both Raw and Smackdown for the last couple of months, and at this point, I'm getting sick of it. But I'm speaking with this with hindsight in mind. And finally, the main event where Solo Sikoa and Seth Rollins, it was a good match, but the ending was really confusing and stupid. I don't know who booked this shit, but it was really obnoxious because it just kind of cut out of nowhere.
Right.
Let's go into NXT. NXT was a 568,000 viewers, down from 647,000 last week, and it was a 0.14 demo instead of a 0.18. Keep in mind that Spring Breakin' was the week before, and it was number 15 in the top 150. Wesley surpassing the last big defense amount was fine. The match itself was a fun opener, but it was for the North American champion. It kind of came out of nowhere. It was kind of devaluing the champion in my eyes, personally.
They're just doing it to show off.
Trick.
Show off Wesley.
Yes, Trick Williams and Braun Breaker had a really good back and forth, but I really like Braun Breaker as a heel promo. He's very good. Gigi Dolan and JC Jane just are not clicking, and I don't know why they continue to do this. JD McDonough and Dragon Lee had an awesome match, final match for JD in NXT, and I am all for that. The women's tag team champion and the women's champion situation. So Indy Hartwell has a hairline fracture in her leg, so she'll be out for a couple of weeks. The NXT women's tag team champions are still Fire and Dawn, and they're going to SmackDown.
Yep.
And they have claimed that they are going to be defending the champions on all 3 brands. Why were they able to keep those titles, but the NXT Women's Champion had to be vacated? Was it because of the injury?
Yes, it was because of the injury.
Is it because of the injury?
It is because of the injury.
So Indy Hartwell would have stayed champion if she was not injured?
Yes. That's my understanding.
Okay. It was very strange to me. I'm going to assume it's because of the injury, but once again, their decision-making and their pointing out these things was very, very odd.
Yep.
Ooh, Dynamite got hurt really bad. 776,000 people, down from 863,000 last week, and it was a 0.28, the same as last week. At the very least, they kept the demo. And it was number 8 in the top 150. So you take that as you will. This 4 Pillars tag team match was just... The match at least was good. That's all I can say. But for crying out loud, we did not need this. Also,
so now it's a 4-way match for the titles, right?
Also, apparently, according to some people at a wrestling convention, Jack Perry is an ass.
Well, then
apparently he has a really bad attitude. And it's like, well, fuck you then.
Right.
The 8-man tag was whatever. Once again, it's the Jericho Appreciation Society. They kill everything. And, Chris Jericho wearing the Britt Baker shirt. People, I don't know why you think that
this is acceptable.
I don't care if it's scripted. You put a shirt of a woman with a black eye on it.
With no context.
With no context whatsoever. I don't care if it was the most sold shirt. I want you to wear that in public and show me exactly what happens.
Right.
And as somebody who has experienced domestic violence and has seen domestic violence, I would be the first person to go up there and punch you directly in the face so you can match. Because it is so wrong.
It is.
It does not make the wrestling community look good in any way, shape, or form. And it's just, I don't care if Baker liked it. I don't care. It just does not look good. Fox is making fun of you. If Fox is making fucking fun of you, then you know you fucked up really bad. Everything else, basically, the Battle Royal for the trios was not even for the titles. It wasn't even for number one contendership. It was just to do it, and it was stupid.
Well, then there we go.
And pretty much everything else was an absolute nothing sandwich. So there you go. All right, so Impact Wrestling, obviously I couldn't find ratings or demo on it, but it's hard to find those. Oh, Trinity. Trinity's promo was fine, but you give her a live mic, and she just sounded exactly the same as she was with Naomi. It was copy and fucking paste.
Yeah, pretty much.
But I am excited for Trinity. This is actually a decent get for Impact.
It is.
And I hope that she at least signs a long-term thing with them, because right now, the Knockouts division is one of the strongest women's divisions in all of wrestling.
Yes, it is.
I mean, it is on fire right now, and I think Trinity she's not going to get lost in the shuffle. She's going to bolster this division, and we want to see more of it.
Yep.
The Design and Callahan feud is absolutely dead. It literally had a bunch of people dressed as minions run in, attack. There you go. Sami Callahan looked like a nothing.
Yeah.
Moose is playing around with a bunch of mid. What are we doing here with Moose? Why is he doing this? He should be main event.
Right.
Why is he not main event in some way, shape, or form? It's stupid. Of all the matches that Jonathan Gresham and Speedball Mike Bailey had, this one was by far the best. It was a great match, but please, for the love of God, can they face other people?
Right.
Because
How many times is this now?
This is the fourth one-on-one encounter that they had, but they had tag team matches, and they had a triple threat with Trey Miguel for the X Division
And this was
champion.
all within the span of probably like 2 months.
Yes. So it's like, okay, it's cool. Speedball Mike Bailey and Jonathan Gresham are great wrestlers, and they have great chemistry. That's fine. But please, have them face other people. Smackdown went down under 2 million. Not great. But once again, going up against people.
Playoffs, right.
Yeah, playoffs, but they were still number one. Despite that, they were still number one in the top 150.
Then there we go.
It was 1.976 million next to 2.298, and it was a 0.61 demo next to a 0.69. But keep in mind that those numbers are not accurate because these numbers don't come out until Monday anyway.
Right.
LWO and the Judgment Day had an entire segment in Spanish. And I actually thought that was good because they were in Puerto Rico.
Yes.
Might as well have context for the people watching the show in the country that they currently reside in. It just makes sense. Cody Rhodes had a decent promo. Lesnar was not needed or necessary. Shinsuke Nakamura and Karrion Kross had a good match. It was much better than I expected, but I wish both of them were in the world title tournament because only Shin is in it, I think. And then LWO and Judgment Day had a good promotional thing for the SmackDown Women's Champion. Obviously, Bad Bunny got the biggest pop of the night because it's Bad Bunny and they are in Puerto Rico. Pretty much everything else was a nothing sandwich. You missed absolutely nothing. Oh my god, Rampage. The firm deletion match. Matt Hardy, you struggled once with the final deletion, and you might have had some decent stuff after, but for the love of God, stop with these cinematic matches. It is the same thing. Big Bill does not care about being in this company anymore. He was literally sucking on a lollipop. Can we not have Big Bill sucking on a lollipop? He is an enormous man who deserves better. This is stupid.
Well, then there we go.
Io Del Vikingo and the Lucha Brothers versus QTV was fine, but once again, we're wasting talent of Vikingo and the Lucha Brothers in trios matches that mean nothing. Jade Cargill's match was a waste of time. How do you screw up Jade Cargill? She is literally everything, and if she was in a promotion that gave a shit, then she probably would be in a much better position overall. And the Briscoe and Preston Vance, I want to make this clear, and this is no disrespect to Jay, but for the love of God, can we stop mentioning him? At this point, Mark Briscoe is not Mark Briscoe. He's Jay Briscoe's brother.
Right. That makes no sense. I mean,
they mentioned it, Jay, more than Mark, and Mark is the one wrestling.
Right.
And unfortunately, him and Preston had a good match.
But fuck, man.
But they just
stop with the J train.
God, man. I mean, what do we have to do?
Right.
Do we have to scream you? You people bitch about WWE exploiting Eddie Guerrero over and over again, and yeah, it's bad.
Yeah.
I mean, they continue to do that, and it's kind of annoying.
Right.
But once again, Jay has been dead for like a minute, and they just keep digging him out of his grave and beating that dead horse over and over and over. At this point, if they cannot get Jay Briscoe's cock out of their mouths, I don't want to see Mark Briscoe wrestling.
Right.
Because at this point, it's becoming nauseous.
Yeah.
And it's so disrespectful, and it's driving me up a fucking wall. So, that is my soapbox. When we come back, we're not only going to be covering and reviewing Backlash and making WWE Backlash majestic again, but Pro Wrestling majestic again.